Frontiers of Pandora is releasing in less than a month, and in case you're unaware, it is a first-person game set in the Avatar universe developed by Massive Entertainment. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And one of the comments that I receive basically almost on every video is that this game should have been in third person. It is a common statement regarding this game regardless of where you look, and it is understandable considering Massive Entertainment is known for their The Division franchise, which is in third person. And as you can change your outfits and gear in this game, one would want to see your character, your Na'vi character, in the outfit of your choosing, as there is after all going to be a store in this game, and we've already seen different bundles in the gold and ultimate edition for this game. And although you can see your character in third person when mounted on an Ikran or a dire horse, most of the game will be taking place from a first person perspective, unless of course you use photo mode. Now my initial thoughts as to why Ubisoft and Massive went this route is because they probably wanted the player to feel more immersed in the world of Pandora, and IGN recently made a video titled Why Avatar Frontiers of Pandora Needed to be First Person, where they spoke to some of the developers, and I highly recommend you check out the full video, which is in the pinned comment, as I wish to highlight some of the statements from those developers. One of the first statements in the video comes from game director Didi Dinfeld, where she states, quote, "We want you to feel immersed and feel like you're really on Pandora, so it was never really a big discussion for us," end quote. And right there, as I've been saying in some of my previous videos, being in first person just makes you feel more immersed in the world, and in this case, the world being Pandora. As with the movies, Pandora was always essentially the big star of the movies, as it was kinda a character on its own, and creative director Magnus Jensen talks about how despite your character, your Na'vi, being the star of the game, Pandora is essentially a star on its own, a character on its own, just like in the movies. He also stated, quote, "The game was always in first person. This was something that we were in complete agreement with Lightstorm," end quote. And as Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment have been working close with James Cameron's team on Frontiers of Pandora, it is safe to say that likely a big part of this is what their vision would have been for the ideal Avatar game. Now, hearing what they had to say, it might be easy to think and wonder why then did they decide to opt for third person on an Ikran and a dire horse if most of the gameplay is just first person? Why not stick to one or the other? Drew Reschner, the associate game director, spoke about the framing of the world of Pandora, mentioning, for example, that they wanted you to have the full scope, to have this full vision or this full feeling when you fly on an Ikran, where you can see the entire wingspan, whereas if that would have been in first person as well, you wouldn't have really felt that feeling of being on an Ikran. And as you of course connect to your Ikran and your dire horse, becoming one with them essentially, it makes sense that you should see your entire mount. But the other question that I often see is, why not let us choose third or first person, as with games like Fallout, Skyrim and Starfield? And the developers actually touched on that topic, stating that from the beginning they actually had first person in mind, so from the ground up the game was designed and built to be in first person. So if you wanted to be able to swap between third and first person, you'd have to redesign a lot of mechanics, and as they stated, essentially do double the work, because they really focused on a lot of animations, showcasing smaller details that you can really take in when only in first person mode. They do talk about some smaller details, that's why I would recommend you watch the video in the pinned comment as well, but overall that is a short version of why Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment decided to make Frontiers of Pandora a first person game instead of a third person game. But what do you think about this idea? Wouldn't you have liked the game to be fully third person like The Division, or do you like the fact that this is a first person game? For more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel, and until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.